Chapter 23. Rosner follows his guide early the following morning, a short dwarf, even for their standards, to the training yard where Rosner is informed Osric spends most of his days. His guide leaves him at the entrance of the smaller cavern, still able to hold 10 sparring circles and various equipment along the walls. Rosser can hear the thrum of bowstrings in an adjacent room. Osric currently sits in the middle of one of the circles near the rear, honing his axe. Rock on steel echoes the length of the room. Unsure of what else to do, Rosser approaches the circle, but refrains from stepping in. Instead, he waits, and waits, and waits. Then the scraping stops. Osric examines his handiwork. "You know what I find interesting?" the orc asks. He does not seem to expect a reply, because before Rosner can offer one, he answers his own question. "That so many fancy a nice, sharp blade, when a dull one can do just as much damage." Rosner stays silent. Now the orc looks at him, weapon still in hand. "This, of course, is Grune Umse." This confuses Rosner. What? "Rubbish," Osric answers. "Crazy, but true." Rosner shakes his head. "Okay, you lost me." "The amount of damage done is not solely determined by what is used, but who is dealing it. Tell me, do you have any skill with the weapon?" "I have trained with shield and a sword," Rosner offers. Osric nods. "So I have been told." The orc proceeds to place his chair outside the ring. "Grab them," he instructs. Then he returns to the circle's center and waits. Rosner obliges. Osric does not wait for Rosner to set himself when he returns. He sweeps his axe at Rosner's side. Rosner steps back and lowers his shield. He is not given a chance beyond this to react before Osric spins. Then he slams the flat of the axe into him, tossing Rosner to the side. "You know, the issue with honing a blade too much is that it dulls quickly when it is met with resistance," Osric announces. The orc batters Rosner again. Rosner tries to return a strike, but Osric sidesteps. "And if you do not hone a blade enough," Osric continues, "its original purpose is not achieved." Rosner lunges. Osric catches the sword with the curve of his axe and twists. The blade flies out of Rosner's grip. "But when one is at a loss," Osric says, staring at the disarmed man before him, "they find hidden uses for objects their creators had no intentions of providing." Rosner surprises himself with a growl. "What are you talking about?" The orc walks up to Rosner until he is only inches away. "I do not like what I have been presented," Osric growls. "Much of your life is an oddity that needs to be honed. Only then can I understand your purpose." Rosner looks up at the creature. "My purpose," he informs Osric with agitation, "is to find the master elixir for my brother." "You chase something that does not exist." "That remains to be seen," Rosner states. Osric's expression does not change. He maintains a neutral glare at Rosner. "Your background is apparently warrant for further investigation, so you will remain under my supervision until it is closed. You will be supplied an allowance for food," Osric informs him. As if this is the end of the conversation, Osric turns and walks away. But Rosner is not done. He needs to find the elixir. What if I leave anyway? Osric pauses, then looks over his shoulder. You are more than welcome to. Just know, without supplies, you will not survive. And even if you steal some, whatever is waiting on the surface will see you dead. This place does not exist. No one knows about it. That includes the Phoenix himself. If he did, I promise we would not be here. Without another word, Osric walks out. Rosner stares after him, more confused than when he first arrived. So he decides to look around. Maybe something about this place will make sense. He wanders the commons for a spell. Then he journeys to the levels above. After what feels like hours, Rosner comes across a book collection. Shelves line the walls of a small 30-foot high room with various hallways branching off. It does not take long for Rosner to realize this is a library. He slides a book from the shelves at random. The Traveling Merchant is written on a red cover with black ink. Rosner returns it and keeps walking. Each room seems to be based on a certain subject. Comedy, magic, history, religion, folklore, monster monologues. Then a thought crosses his mind, and he heads back to the history section. The next morning, the same dwarf fetches Rosner from his room and walks him to the training area. Unlike before, Osric coaches Rosner. He pushes him past his breaking point, then sends him on his way. Rosner cleans himself. He eats. Then he returns to the library. After a week or so, Cyan spots him in the middle of the commons after a sparring session. She calls after him. When Rosner realizes it is her, he keeps walking, pretending not to see her. Eventually, she catches up. Rosner growls to himself. Now beside him, in her chest wrap and leggings, she looks over him. His eyes stay forward. Is this how you usually treat people? She finally asks. Well, seeing how Cyan starts like this, he tries to remain stoic, only giving her a side glance. And what about you? Rosner demands. Do you always drink with strangers, then leave them when someone else approaches? Are you talking about Osric? She asks. You bet judgment and death himself I will run from him. He is the head of guard down here. A group of children run past screaming with laughter. So? Cyan shrugs. So? Occasionally I do questionable things that he would not appreciate. After a moment she adds, and he does not like me much anyway. Rosner stops walking. Like what? He asks. Fights mostly, she confesses. Occasionally I will steal things. Sounds like his dislike of you is just, Rosner says. They stand near the opposite side of the commons from the training grounds. Through a short series of hallways further on is the washroom. A thought crosses Rosner's mind. What do you do here exactly? The question seems to catch Cyan off guard. Oh, well, sort of like you, I suppose. Just hang around, train, earn our allowance. I got nowhere else to go. Rosner wants to question her some more, but stops himself. He has talked enough with her already. Last they were together, she and the others ran off. He does not care that Osric intimidates her. He has no issue showing the same feeling for her as they did him. So instead, he nods. I will see you around, he tells her before walking off. About 2 weeks later, Rosner spots Huon in the library browsing the magic section. Curious, he walks up to the orc. You did not take me for someone interested in magic, Rosner says, then adds, nor did I take you to jump easily, after the creature puts a hand to his chest and takes a heavy breath. Huon turns around. Well, when you are fully absorbed in something, anything outside tends to come as a surprise, he replies, then adds in a curious tone of his own, I came across Cyan. I did not expect to talk with you again. Rosner brushes the comment to the side and starts looking at the books in front of them. I do not think about that anymore, he confesses. I have been focusing my attention elsewhere. It is true, after he left Cyan, he felt bad for the way he treated her, but he will never openly admit it. Before their encounter, and doubly so thereafter, he has been searching the library up and down for books that relate to his brother. Rosner picks up a book with gold embroidery. Basic enchantments. What is your interest in magic, Huon? Rosner asks. Most orcs do not bother with it, thinking it strange and foreign. The race, as a whole, generally prefers strength and physical power over anything. The orc shrugs. Purely academic, he says, standing. He tucks a small book into his bag. What of you? Looking for anything about the Master Elixir, Rosner admits, absent-mindedly. In front of him sits countless books on enchantments, illusions, divination, even some specifically on mind reading. Huon sighs. I suppose if you have been at it this long, your search will not stop. No, it will not, Rosner agrees. In that case, the orc says, I suggest you try the restricted section. It is not truly restricted in terms of the law, but you do have to climb a lengthy ladder to reach it. After following Huon's directions, Rosner stands before a 30-foot ladder in one of the back rooms amidst the vast collection of caverns. Rosner picks up a book near the ladder, Poetic Love. This room itself is a deterrent, Rosner mumbles, replacing the book. Then he climbs. The landing reveals a dark room beyond. Rosner searches for a sconce with a torch, but finds neither. Still, curiosity takes him forward. As he enters the room, the outline of a brazier appears in its center. He will have to come back when he has tinder and oil.